Hello everyone, this is just going to be a quick video with me just yapping about my thoughts on what we're going to do in the future for the channel. As I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit, I just need to yap a little. So first of all, let's talk about Wheel Only. Wheel Only for now is going to wait just for the Fate characters to appear. Also, depending on what happens on the first episode, I think I'm just going to put them both on one. Like put both first phase and second phase on one episode just to have like the 4.4 episode. Not entirely sure if that's how I want to do it for now. That's about it. Like, don't worry, Wheel Only, we'll get another episode for it. Coming in probably like the next couple days actually, as I'm pretty sure that the Fate collab is about to release, which actually they released a video for it today and it was pretty interesting. So let's talk about the 4.2 account speedrun. I've still been playing on it here and there. I've kind of been just doing my daily log and I've been doing the events as well. So I do have quite a decent bit of like jades right now. I think I have like around 100 pulls on it. So I am thinking as well that once the Fate collab drops, I think I'm gonna try and get Rin and see if the account can actually beat STARWARD mode. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I've already tried and I actually recorded some of it, but unfortunately I did delete quite a lot of it already because when I was doing cleanup for actually the footage of the 4.2 speedrun, I must have accidentally also deleted footage from those attempts on STARWARD mode as well. I have managed to clear, I did clear the original APOC shadow, and I think the current MOC I also managed to clear. Pure Fiction unfortunately was just not doable because Archer for now is just not strong enough to get me a score in Pure Fiction. Hopefully maybe Rin helps with that. But yeah, I'm for now unsure if I'm actually going to keep playing on that account. I do find the idea of clearing STARWARD mode on it very interesting, but I did see a comment, and I'm sorry, I actually don't remember the name. I'm gonna make sure editing me put the comment on the screen right here, that they were talking about like clearing STARWARD mode, and I don't know if they meant to clear STARWARD mode with that account, because I think with that account is obviously very doable, or if the comment meant to clear STARWARD mode from another account in 20 days. And that idea to me has been like very interesting this last couple days, I guess, because like I don't even know if it's possible. Like, okay, let's put this here. Do I think it's possible to clear STARWARD mode in, let's say, 21 days, which is basically what took me last time in 4.2 to clear the endgame? In one word, well, actually 2 words, probably not. It's probably not doable. Is there a chance that you might be able to do it? Yes. But let's just go over a few things that I want to just point out, which is kind of just why I wanted to yap. So first of all, let's talk about one important thing for account speedruns, which is a very big limitant on the accounts, which are weekly bosses, Echoes of Wars. The reason why you speedrun, like for example the story, to on your first week reach Trailblaze level, to reach Trailblaze level 60 so you can start getting 3 drops of Echoes of War from your first week. But the thing is, in 21 days you only get 9 per week, which is 27. And to put into perspective, to max a character you need 24. So you can theoretically only max 2 characters and then a little bit more, but then you add the problem of like a lot of your supports require their additional abilities to be activated, which each additional ability is a weekly boss drop. So like it ends up being a case where distributing those weekly boss drops on on 2 teams, it's totally doable. I mean, I did it, so like you can see it there. But for 3 teams, even just without thinking, if you actually have the units to make those 3 teams, like actually raising the talents, the traces of 3 teams on a good enough state for you to clear STARWARD mode, that already feels pretty tough, because you're already missing like 20%, 30% of your multipliers. Like, and then, you know, it might not be much on one unit, but when you're missing it in multiple units, then it starts adding up. And also this kind of eliminates dual DPS comps, which will be important for what I'm about to talk about, which is what theoretical teams could we actually run to in this current patch we have right now in 21 days to actually make this work. So give me a second, I'm gonna do a tier list format. Okay, so I have this little tier list format from all the characters that I'm going to point out that are available during 4.4 patch. So let's initially just think about it and let's see if we can have like 3 actual teams. Now the funny thing about 4.4 is that at least from a baseline I can tell you that there are 2 very obvious things. One of our teams will always be Himiko Nova. This character is fucking insane and she has some pretty decent free-to-play companions. 100% one of the teams that we can do in this theoretical account, let's call it, I guess. And then the other team, it's 100% either Archer or Gilgamesh. You're getting a selector. If you start an account right now, getting those 200 pulls for the free Lycone is very doable. So you're getting them for free, one of the 2, E0, S1. Now, which one of the 2 do I actually think it's better? And this one is hard, but I think it's actually Gilgamesh, not Archer. I'm not 100% sure about this, to be honest, but I think the biggest reason why I would pick Gilgamesh over Archer is the fact that there is no Sparkle. Missing Sparkle is a big deal because it would make it so we 100%, if we want to pick Archer, we have to pair him with Rin, and then we need a generic support, which baseline wise we don't really have that great generic supports. Like, what am I going to buy? Robin from the shop? Like, do I use RMC on them, which feels a little unnecessary? Like, and again we go back to the problem with the Echoes of War of like, this is a double DPS setup, so we're not really going to, for example, if we spend a lot of our resources into Archer, then Rin is barely going to do anything other than just, I guess, buff Archer, which like maybe it's enough. But then again, from my own experience on the other account I have with Archer, if I go for Archer, there is going to be one endgame mode that I don't think I would be able to clear, and that's Pure Fiction, because I might be able to 40k one side and then 30k another, but then Archer will also need to 30k, and I don't think he can do that. It's very, I genuinely think that I would pick Gilgamesh over Archer. Let me know if you think otherwise. The newest Apocalyptic Shadow that just recently resetted. Because it just recently resetted, it means that if I start this account and try to beat STARWARD mode like in 21 days anytime soon, this will be the Apoc Shadow that we have to beat. Nikador is a boss that I feel like mechanics wise he's a lot more important than DPS wise, if I'm going to be honest. Even if, for example, there's a damage dealt by Memo Sprites ignores 20% defense, which would be like, oh, this is great for Evernight, which it is, but like Evernight doesn't really do Nikador's mechanics that well, so like she's already in a disadvantage of not doing the mechanics well. So this 20% is, I don't know if it's actually going to help that much, even more so considering that for a character like Evernight, we cannot really get 3 Remembrance right now. We can get Evernight, we can put her RMC, but there is no other accessible Remembrance during this patch. If I was going to extend the time for this account to be more than 21 days, let's say like a month, and I time it at a certain specific point, I could include Robin Sumaretto into the mix, which this could be very interesting. But again, for now the idea is 21 days, And no matter what I do, there is no way I can put 21 days with both Evernight and Robinson Loretto. So let's just get that out of there. So I personally think that Evernight is, although like a good character, I just don't really think is that great of an idea, even more so considering that she is locking my MC to her. Because like both Himeko Nova and Gilgamesh would love to have RMC in their teams. So I'm initially going to say that I don't think Evernight is the choice for that third team. Sparksy is a funny one because like theoretically she works well, but she kind of has that same problem of like she locks my MC, in this case Elation MC. We also don't really have either Yaguang or Silverwolf to make her, you know, like super good, so we would actually have to go like E2S1 at a minimum on her. She also has the problem of sharing elements with Himeko, which is not that huge of a deal to be honest, at least not for now. But again, locking the MC, lacking crucial units, it just feels a little awkward. Then we have Anaxa. Anaxa is notorious for being one of the best E0, S0 DPSs, but the reason why that's the case is because his vertical investment freaking sucks. There is one really good thing for Anaxa going this patch, which is Seridra. Seridra, amazing for Anaxa, poggers. But there is a problem. We're missing a key unit for our Anaxa. No Cyrene. Not having Cyrene for Anaxa is like really detrimental. Could he still work at a low cost of just getting him and getting Seridra with like two random other supports that say like RMC Gallagher, like a team like that? Could that team work and clear a stage? Maybe it can, but doing a team like this is putting a lot more pressure on the other two teams, on those other two teams being a lot higher investment. But I'm not the biggest fan of it, because I think there's another character that's similar to him, but just better. And that's Rin. The hilarious thing is, I think Rin main DPS might actually be the play. Now the biggest problem, again with same as Archer, not having Sparkle is a problem. Sparkle is a very important aspect for Rin main DPS, but we could try and make it work. So I'm going to put this as the idea for now. Let's say that our three teams are hilariously the three new characters that came out this patch: Himeko Nova, Gilgamesh, and Rin. Now, for Himeko Nova, I think we need to get E2S1. And immediately I'm going to say, if I was going to do this challenge, even if it feels like a waste of my time, I think I have to reroll. I think I would have to reroll to guarantee get a Himeko Nova as soon as possible and get her to E2S1. And then we can play her with something like March 7th Hunt, which again is super free to play friendly, doesn't care about Hunt March 7th damage, as she's literally just there for her own action advances, actually dependent on 50-50 luck. Because as you might see on my notable characters, I think we're going to need to miss 50-50s on Silverwolf, on Welt, on Bronya for 3 teams. I genuinely think it's like really freaking hard. Also, we have the problems that I haven't even touched upon, which is sustains, which I haven't talked about him, but getting Danhang, Permansor, Terai, just E0 S0 might actually be a play because we need the sustains. Let's say we run Danhang on Himeko, Ho-Ho on Gilgamesh because Gilgamesh really wants the energy. This is also a problem, not being able to get something like Ranmei or Robin because we only have one. Oh, I don't think I actually had talked about this. We still can get the Golden Companion Spirit. Oh my god. We still can get the Golden Companion Spirit of 4.2. So picking Huohuo out of that just because of the sustain problem is probably correct. And then Rin, I don't know, man. You're getting Fushuan or something. If we miss 50-50 to her, if not, Bailu. So yeah, it's definitely... I think it's kind of hilarious because I feel like, obviously, I don't want to lose my 50-50, so we could get like E2... I think I would actually need E2S1 out of all 3 characters. All 3 of these DPSs would need to be E2S1 probably. Which is already 12 cost. 2 of those are free from Gilgamesh being selected and his signature being free. And then 1 being rerolled for. So that's theoretically more like 9 cost. Then we add 1 from Seridra and then 1 from the HPT. So let's say we're lucky and we get a welt. Amazing. And then RMC on Gilgamesh. Who would we put on Rin? And this is where desperate measures. I think I actually would have to use Hanya. Hanya is currently on banner, so it's not a crazy stretch to say that we can get her like full dupes. But like using Hanya in 2026, man, holy. But like she recovers skill points. Like I genuinely think that it's like actually one of my few options that I could have. Plus like we can kinda low cost her, I feel like low cost, I mean like low investment, like not really put too much resources into her. But then even after that, let me just put like Fushuan there as a standby for support. Even after that, as you can see, I'm still liking a character for Gilgamesh. So without putting like more 5 stars in, I think we would have to put like something like Tingyu in here, which like maybe it's fine. Maybe can this teams, theoretically. This is me assuming missing a 50-50 to either Fushuan or Bailu, again, one of the 2, and also getting a welt with E2S1 Himeko, claiming Huohuo from the shop, claiming E0S1 Gilgamesh, and probably also getting... I think with Gilgamesh, I am going to immediately say it, I think he's probably the character that I would go for his Eidolons last. The character that I would get first to E2S1 has to be Himeko, because if we fail, like if I fail the challenge in 21 days, Himeko's just a better investment than the other 2, right? But then after that, I would still select Gilgamesh. I think I'm fine selecting Gilgamesh. But I think depending on the luck we get for Himeko, right? Let's do a little bit of math. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely, like I don't remember the exact amount. But let's say you can get like 550 pulls this patch around this, like doing all the free-to-play content. You can probably get more, to be honest. But let's just say that for now. So just for Himeko Nova, counting the reroll, so we only need 2 more copies and 1 copy of her signature. Let's say we have like 2 pity. Whatever, let's not add that actually. So let's see. Calculate it. Okay, with 550 you are guaranteed to get that. So now let's talk about Rin, which is 3 more copies, so that leaves that at 5, and then 2 copies of light cones, 1 from Himeko Nova, 1 from Rin. That is 39%. So like E2S1 of Himeko Nova with a reroll and E2S1 of Rin is around 40% doable with 550, which is like a random estimate that I just threw. Like I'm not entirely sure how much you actually get, but I think 550 is reasonable. I think it's around the amount of polls I did for 4.2. But then let's say I should probably stop. Sorry, I'm eating a cookie. Okay, but then let's say we add the 2 dupes, so that's 7. 2 dupes for Gilgamesh on 550 polls. It's 4.5%. So yeah, in 21 days this is more or less like, it's very unlikely that we could actually get E2S1 Himiko with E2S1 Gilgamesh. I don't know if I want to try it, to be honest, mostly because like, oh man, it's quite exhausting, I'm not gonna lie. Like doing the content, dude, like speedrunning through the content, like it takes a lot, dude. But it also like really makes me think that like maybe if I just extend it a little bit more, because if I extend this again to like next patch, being able to add like Robin Sumaretto, like Robin Sumaretto could be really interesting for quite a few different teams actually. Like she could be quite interesting for Gilgamesh, and like in fact we could even maybe consider getting Saber, which is crazy to say, but yeah, that's about it for my ideas of like if I think it's like possible to clear 4.4 STARWARD mode in 21 days, aka 3 weeks. Like I think genuinely that it's like theoretically possible if you're really lucky in gacha. And also, by the way, I didn't even talk about this, which is relics. You have to be lucky with your relics as well. Like relic quality is a big difference maker for your clears. So yeah, that's kind of it for like 4.4 speedrun. But I will say the introduction of STARWARD mode, I feel like has added quite a new dimension to speedrunning, while also making it like quite significantly harder to do. Like I think like STARWARD mode in one patch, if I was talking like the entire patch of 4.4, then the teams I made are probably still the same teams I would run. It's just that now we would have more Echoes of War, so like more time, more energy, better builds, higher level traces, higher level light cones and stuff. So like it would be more possible with that. But yeah, that's about it for HSR. Now let's talk about a different topic, which is ZZZ. Incredible, actually. Can you believe it? StarRail and ZZZ are having a freaking collab? That's nuts. Honestly, that came out of freaking nowhere, dude. And I am like in disbelief. I could not believe there's a collab between ZZZ and StarRail, when just like literally a couple days before that I uploaded the ZZZ 3.0 story, which like, I don't know, it was just a test. But like I'm genuinely thinking of doing some ZZZ content, honestly. Like I am a lot less knowledgeable on ZZZ speedrunning, but for the 3.1 anniversary they did say on the special program that like the proxy level are being adjusted, like it's going to be easier to ascend your level, so that should make it quite a lot better for speedrunning. Yeah, like ZZZ is like very interesting, man. Like I am considering doing a challenge for 3.1, trying to beat endgames, I guess, like Deadly Assault and Shiyu. Now the funny thing is like ZZZ has always had 3 endgame, well, not always, but like they've had 3 team endgame for a while now. But because it's teams of 3, it's not that hard, because like in the end it's like 9 units versus like 12 on StarRail. Plus, like, you know, there's a problem that StarRail has for speedrunning the endgame, which other games don't have, which is the sustain problem. A lot of cases you will see that some patches are just not doable because you just don't have a sustain. Like I am very curious what would be like the optimal thing to do on 3.1 or in terms of your account, right? Because like I feel like there are a few choices. You could either do one anomaly team. Like the obvious thing is like you obviously gotta get Remiel. This unit's like marking a metagame, like she's like a pillar of the metagame, so like you kind of have to pull for her. So like you either do one anomaly team with Remiel and then 2 attack teams, one with Pirois and then the other with Sigrid, or you do 2 anomaly teams and 1 attack team with Remiel being the baseline for one of your anomaly teams, and then Aria being the baseline for the other anomaly team, and then using Perois as the attack team. Problem with that is that you have 2 ether agents, which for CCC I feel like that's a lot more relevant, to be honest. We don't actually, like, elements are really punishing in CCC. So yeah, I might try it. I will have to decide in the next couple days, to be honest, because I actually have a lot to do. And I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my head, dude, even though I know it's not going to happen, because, like, that's why I've kind of been telling myself for, like, so long. Like, I have this, remember, like, I did a short about Genshin, so I was like, if Genshin gets a skip button, I'm going to do a speedrun of Genshin. And, like, ever since I actually made that short to, like, you know, put it as evidence, as, like, you know, if it actually happens, I gotta do it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared if it actually happens. What if we actually get a skip button in Shinesnaya? I don't think it will happen, because it's Genshin. But, like, if it does, bro, I could be doing a speedrun on Star Rail, CCC, and Genshin at the same time. Like, what the fuck am I going to do, man? Like, I don't have time for that. Like, that's crazy. So, like, I don't want to start a challenge that, like, I might not be able to do because I have other things on my plate. But, like, I feel like it could be cool. So, yeah. For now, a little bit unsure. I think for the next couple days, the next video should be the episode 4, if I'm not mistaken, of Wheel Only. We'll finally pull on the Himiko Nova manners for phase 1, and we'll get that very important 50-50 between Archer and Gilgamesh for that account. Then about a HSR 4.4 STARWARD mode speedrun, I just think it requires so much luck that, like, I don't want to start it, man. Because, like, the funny thing is like, I feel like if I, for example, already at a baseline get really unlucky on Himiko Nova, and let's say I gotta spend 300 pulls, which is like 150 per Eidolon, like, right? Because, like, we reroll for the first copy, then 150 for the first Eidolon, 150 for the second Eidolon. That's 300 pulls plus 70 for the signature. That is 370 plus, like, 5, let's say, from the reroll. So, like, 375 pulls on just E2 as one Himiko Nova. Then at that point, I don't think the challenge is doable. I think we spent too many pulls into one team just because of how the luck went. So, like, but I guess if that happens, I could maybe just extend it, I guess. Like, what if we're, like, trying to clear STARWARD mode in 2 patches, I guess. But anyways, I've yapped enough. I'm sorry, this is not exactly, like, my typical content. It was just a yap session. I kind of just wanted to talk about a few things, as I find it interesting. I find them interesting to just talk about random speedrunning and, like, account managing, I guess, for, like, new accounts. It's just something that I've enjoyed doing for a while. That's kind of why I did the 4.2 one, because I've been thinking about doing them for so long, and I finally decided to do one. So, I don't know, who knows, maybe I end up doing another one. In fact, I did say that I was definitely going to do another speedrun at some point, because I don't like the fact that the 4.2 one was on a returning account, not a new account. So, yeah, we will eventually do another HSR speedrun. I don't know if it's going to be the 4.4 one, but I will say STARWARD mode has definitely made speedrunning the endgame on Star Rail a lot harder now. So, yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. And then CCC, who knows? Maybe I'll actually give it a shot. I think it's somewhat interesting, the, like, different things I could actually try to do. Also, like, learning stuff again about CCC, because, as I said, I'm actually not that knowledgeable. in terms of like tech and other things you could do to like make your account advance like faster. But yeah, that's about it for me today. Thank you everyone that's actually stick to this point. If anyone's still here, thank you very much. Thanks everyone. Oh my god, I keep saying thanks. Oh my god, I like, what am I supposed just bye bye, man. Bye bye.